John was abandoned by his mother, who was a drug abuser, for 1.5 weeks. He stayed in an abandoned building with no heat, no water, and no food. He ate whatever crumbs he could find and eventually started eating the drywall. He got lead poisoning from this and will never be normal again. His grandma found him taking care of his 2 younger siblings. John is 5.
Josh paid his welfare check, $616 up front to his landlord, who didn't prepare the apartment for him and his kids to move into. There was no carpet, and since they had no beds, they had to sleep on the bare floor. The pipes leaked and the sewer backed up. Josh ended up taking a shower out of a coffee pot and a bedpan.
Families are moving from their apartments to vacant buildings that have no heat, no electricity, and no food. One mother told her child that we'll be staying here for a while, but don't unpack because we don't know how long we'll be here.
I've seen 25 or 26 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Families are living in abandoned buildings with no electricity and no water. Toilets haven't been flushed in months.
Listen to a letter that a teacher sent me. The kids are malnourished. They are very thin. We send dry cereal home with them to make sure they get to eat over the weekend. We tell them to hide the cereal under their beds so that adults won't take it. The adults beat up the children and take the food anyways. We have to tell the children to keep the milk on the window ledge so the adults won't take it.
We had a Thanksgiving dinner for our children, with food and juice donated from the local community. One 9-year-old boy told me it was the best Thanksgiving he'd ever had. It was the first time he'd ever eaten from a real plate.
Okay, I went to this house and there was only 2 plastic chairs in the kitchen. There was only 1 table and 1 bedroom. And in the bedroom there was only a crib and a mattress. And there was blankets on the floor, and that's all they had. And there was 7 children living in the family.
I know a family who lives in a house with plastic over the windows and holes in the floors. They have no utilities, and they have to use candles and flashlights to see. It doesn't get any worse than that.
One family I know is living in the back of an abandoned truck. I found out because she was wearing the same clothes to school every day. There are 6 people living in the back of the truck, which is parked in an abandoned parking lot. The kids now shower at school.
The apartments are divided in half, with families sharing 1 bathroom. There was one family of 18 people, 10 of them adults, living in 1 apartment. The 8th grade girl had bad body odor because she had no access to a bathroom. They let her wash up at school in the janitor's sink.
The children have sore stomachs because they take medicine without food. The label says to take it only with food, but they don't have food, so they don't take the medicine. Or they do take it, and it only makes them sicker.
Listen to another letter that I received from a different school. Weekends are difficult for the children because they don't eat then. Many eat only at school. Kids come to school on Mondays with stomach aches and headaches. Long weekends are the worst. A 13-year-old child fainted on Monday, fell flat on the floor. We didn't know what was wrong with her. We learned later she was hungry and hadn't eaten since school the Friday before. We see fainting all the time now.
I know a woman who works at a homeless shelter. Listen to a letter that she just sent me. Many of the mothers are on public aid. If they have 3 kids, they get a check for about $500 a month. The problem is that they always are borrowing money ahead of time from family and neighbors, so by the time the check comes, they owe it all. It's not easy getting paid only once a month. Many parents sell their food stamps to pay rent and utilities. They might sell $300 worth of food stamps and get $60 for them. Then the kids must go hungry.
There's a lot of families that don't even have refrigerators, and they have to store all their food in chests with ice, or they have to just leave it in the pot and eat it straight out of it, and a lot of kids get sick from this.
A church leader contacted me a few weeks ago and gave me an email about a family he saw, and this is the email. Lots of brick houses look okay on the outside, but inside they are dismal. We have one family that lives in the basement with all the windows boarded up for security, so there's no light at all. They have a space heater and one cot. A clothesline separates the area where the boys sleep.